Hi guys, how are you all? We haven't been raptured yet, but I think something's brewing for the next few days. That's a pretty obvious statement, I guess, but we all think something's brewing at the moment. I just want to expand on a couple of things, and perhaps anybody watching could post this question to any of the bigger channels if they're able to. I don't know how to do that, but anyway. Ty Green, I had a look at his video this morning. It is very interesting. Did you see the new moon? Now, Ty Green what he's trying to do is not establish a rapture date in this video. He's trying to establish when the Feast of Trumpets actually begins. Now, I know we have Repo Man, who was sort of 14th or 16th or something, and then we had the 17th when it was sighted, and we've had people saying it's a one-day feast, a two-day feast, etc. But Ty Green has a different view on it here, and I'll explain in a minute how this all sort of could relate to timelines that we're currently watching and things that we're seeing. So we have Ty Green, and his basic take was that according to both the Bible and extra-biblical texts, the Feast of Trumpets can only start, I'm not sure if this is pertaining to the Jubilee specifically, the Jubilee year, or any Feast of Trumpets. You have to watch it yourself and have a look, see what you think, and make some comments. But he's basically saying that the Feast of Trumpets can only start on certain days. And Saturday, when the moon was sighted, isn't one of them. Tuesday, however, today is, and he's actually saying that he doesn't believe Feast of Trumpets started until today. In Australia, with the 19th. So I'm not sure where he is, or he may be saying tomorrow if he's talking 19th in America, which is probably correct because we're the 19th already here, 19th Tuesday in Australia. So we have Ty Green saying that may not have started. Feast of Trumpets may not have started or may not actually commence until tomorrow, 19th, because the Tuesday is one of the days apparently when it is allowed to start. I don't know about the validity of that, but I think it's well worth checking out. Ty's a pretty big channel, and he's fairly up on stuff. He's not saying it's a thus saith the Lord. He's pretty much just saying, what do you guys think? And I'd like to pose that question to you as well. So, now let's talk about the comet that I was watching, or the planet child. Actually, I've been watching two specific comets, but let's talk about the planet child. We identified, or some of us identified, that it returns every 30 years on a dark moon before the Feast of Trumpets. What does that mean? And we also note that looking back in history, I think Repo Man did the internet search, that it always, they say on the day that this comet appears in Virgo is the day that they call Feast of Trumpets. But when you look at the moon, it's not the day they should have called Feast of Trumpets because the moon isn't visible. So we're kind of wondering why every 30 years they're calling the Feast of Trumpets on a day when they shouldn't have, according to Stellarium anyway. And how could they have sighted the moon on those days, because it was a dark moon. So that always occurs just before when the official Feast of Trumpets, according to how they celebrate it today, begins. It seems unusual. It started doing that, as I identified, in AD, I think it was 973, and it goes through to 2653 or something like that. I can't remember the end date exactly, but it was 1,680 years altogether. from when it first entered Virgo, which was right up on a shoulder, I think it was, to when it's exiting now. But it's still, even though we're watching it exit now pertaining to the Feast of Trumpets and maybe the Revelation 12 sign and a potential rapture, but still from this point onwards, it still continues to reappear every 30 years on when Feast of Trumpets on a dark moon, just before the Feast of Trumpets on a dark moon. It will continue to do that until about 2653 or something. So it's not the last time we've seen the planet child come into the womb of Virgo. Now is particularly significant because we see it happen in convergence with all these other asteroids, comets, minor planets, stars. We have a pretty crazy alignment. Excuse me. So that's 2 points. We've got Ty Green's point about the start date for Feast of Trumpets and what that could mean. We've got this recurring 30-year cycle that happens just before the Feast of Trumpets. We have all of the signs that Patrick from Hourly Watch is looking at, specifically culminating tomorrow in America on the 19th, the 20th here. That's three very interesting points. But I posed a question to Repo Man and whoever was watching yesterday that for us to wait 10 more days for these feasts to be combined, 10 more days until the Day of Atonement, for that to be the case, be it Repo Man's Day of Atonement or the one Cool Cat's looking at, which is a couple of days later. This is all based on the Feast of Trumpets, you see, and Repo Man and Cool Cat had varying start dates for the Feast of Trumpets. Therefore, they've got varying 10-day periods that they're watching for what they're calling the 10 days of awe through to Day of Atonement. Cool Cat's aligns with the way the Jews currently celebrate it. Repo Man's doesn't. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong, just that my question is, for both of those dates, they are outside of Amos 8, where we talk so often about summer fruits. And I always believe the rapture was the summer fruits. So to put that in, Israel's summer finishes on Friday. So we're outside of the summer period. Hence, a lot of those verses that reference summer fruits and harvests and so on don't seem to apply if we go outside of, or if we go all the way to the end of the day, the 10 days of awe, right through to the Day of Atonement. So they're the points that I wanted to bring up. Now, because we've got such converging timelines at the moment, and we're looking at a period of 10 days, but also other days within that 10-day period, like Repo Man's ending slightly before Cool Cat's. We have Ty Green saying that, Feast of Trumpets may not even have started yet. And we also have biblically lots of references to summer fruits, which is about to finish in Israel. I'm wondering if all of this is pointing to a time frame within the next day or two. Anyway, I pose this question. I hope somebody can get this out to the bigger channels who know much more about this sort of stuff than me, because it does seem an unusual sort of hiccup here at the end, whereby we've still got 2 or 3 current timeline watch periods that we're looking at, but they're all going to take us outside of summer fruits. So, yeah, there's my question. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. My final comments will be, remember, this is all by the blood of Jesus. It's his sacrifice alone that gets us into heaven, no works of our own. If we've done good works, bad works, no works, doesn't matter. We're not going to get into heaven on our own merits. That's it. It's by Jesus' work alone, and I pray he comes soon, because today for me has been one of the worst days of my life. Talk about wanting to escape this world, and that's that's a valid way to think for some of us, you know. We know what's coming. We know it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. Why would you want to stay here? Seriously, when all the problems and issues that we have here on earth can be gone and we can be with Jesus forever, live in harmony, have a new body that can't sin. We don't have to battle with sin all the time and fail or win a few, lose a few more, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back type deal. It's just horrid. It's a continual battle. I'm ready to go. Nothing the world can offer me would make me want to stay here anymore. So just remember that, guys. The only way to the Father is through the Son. Confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord. Believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead on the 3rd day, defeating sin and the grave and death, and he did it willingly for us. We have to accept that as our gift. We don't add anything to that gift, not even the wrapping paper, a bow, or even a tiny little card on top. Take it easy, guys. God bless.